In this video, we'll be looking at a step-by-step plan to starting your own spiritual practice. This plan is just a guide, and you need to take the parts of it that you find useful and use those, and change the parts that you don't find as useful. Step 1. Understand your reasons for starting the spiritual journey. Here you have to start and look at why do you want to start a spiritual journey, as this journey can be quite difficult and the rewards are unknown. So your reasons may be because you've always felt that something's been missing from your life, or that you are trying to deal with some tragedy. Could be any of these reasons. And having a clear reason why you're doing it can help keep you going in these difficult times. Step 2. Creating a vision. This step is closely linked to your reason for starting a spiritual practice. It is also a very contentious step, as some people believe you should not have any goals when you're on a spiritual journey, and other people think that having goals is vital for your spiritual progress. So let's look at the pros and cons of having goals. Firstly, the positives. Having goals can often motivate you to continue your practice as you have something to work towards. Secondly, it's easy to lose your practice when you don't have any goals. I found personally that when I didn't have any goals, my practice suffered as I continually practiced less and less. You can then go into a downward spiral and think that anything on the spiritual path is unimportant. And then you'll become a couch potato and sit on the couch all day, as there will be no reason for you to do anything. Thirdly, when you're facing difficult times in your life, you can use your goals to help inspire you and keep you on the path through the difficult time. And finally, having a goal can be used as a benchmark to make all decisions. For once you know what your goals are, then you can take all your difficult decisions and see if they are in alignment with what you want. Okay, so now let's go to the negatives of having goals. Firstly, people say that having a goal is just ego gratification, i.e. you've just created the goal to have something to make your ego feel better. Next, you can get negative emotions if you do not achieve your goals, or if it takes a long time to achieve your goals. This can make you quite disheartened and also make you quit your practice. Thirdly, you can forget completely about the path and only focus on your goals. So yeah, one needs to realize that the path is also part of the journey and that needs to be enjoyed. Otherwise, you spend your whole life trying to achieve something and then when you look back, you haven't enjoyed any of it. So whether or not you want to create a vision will have to be your own choice. I would suggest trying both and see which works better for you. I personally have found that having goals is a much better way for me to achieve my spiritual progress. Step 3. Learning to identify truth. So here we're going to talk about finding your own truth and finding truth in others. So firstly, finding your own truth. This step might need to be done before you do step 1 and 2 if you're not sure of your reasons for starting the spiritual path. To start identifying your own truth, you'll have to spend time alone, because only you can choose the right path for yourself. Other people can guide you, but only you can decide which path is right for you. Some useful techniques to do when spending time alone is meditation, as this can help you to quiet and focus the mind, and then contemplation, where you focus on asking specific questions and then letting yourself retrieve the answers. The answers will come from that quiet serenity and not from the mind. During this time, an important thing to find out is which desires are your own and which desires come from another source, such as society, your friends, or your family. This is difficult to discern, so it will take you time, so just be patient when you're going through this journey. This time away from all the distractions of life will allow you the opportunity to think about these types of things. Whereas if you're always busy and distracted, you never have the time to find out what you truly want. And don't worry if there are times when you just don't know the answer. Just forget about that question for a few days and come back to it in a later stage and see if you can answer it then. Don't try to rush the answers. And be careful of that inner voice that's constantly criticizing or telling you that this is a waste of time. And just remember that self-doubt and laziness are two obstacles on our spiritual journey that must be overcome, so do not let these obstacles defeat you. The second part of this step is to find answers from another. This can be anyone, but the best people I find to use are people who have achieved what you wish to achieve. I call these people either mentors or teachers. So you have a few options once you've found mentors. Either you can go directly to them and ask them for guidance. Secondly, you could use them to design your own roadmap on where you want to go. Yeah, you would have to find out how they currently live or did live, what they taught, how they acted in most situations, and what specific traits they were known for. You'll need to have a lot of information on them so that you can start emulating them in your daily life. Then there are other people which I call messengers. These people may not act perfectly, but the words they speak contain truth and many insights. Yeah, you'll have to use your inner knowing to decide which people speak truth and which ones are not. What I normally do is to listen completely openly to what they have to say. Then afterwards you can look at all the information they have presented to you, and then you use that inner voice to decide which parts are useful to you at your current stage. And sometimes there may be nothing useful. That is also alright. Okay, my fourth and final step is to read. I love reading because this expands your knowledge, and in books you can find a person's lifetime of experience written down, and therefore you can learn so much more than you could in your own single life. Also, reading helps to expand your knowledge and let you experience knowledge from multiple different sources and people with different backgrounds. And these people and backgrounds might not be available in your area. Also, the books can be used to help remind you to keep on your path, or they could also be used to inspire you or to find answers to questions you cannot answer yourself at the present moment. Some books I would recommend that I found very useful are Conversations with God Book 1 by Donald Walsh, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind by Shunryu Suzuki. Let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these books and found them useful. And finally, I'd like to give you some tips that I think would be useful on your spiritual journey. Firstly, realize that it's your journey and that it'll be hard work, as you now have to decide what you believe, and no one can decide it for you. Even though other people will try, remember that you have to make your own decision, and do not let other people tell you what is the right path. Secondly, try as many different approaches as you can at first. This will help you to know yourself better and thus make a better decision about what's right for you. And then thirdly, that the journey never ends. So if the journey never ends, remember to enjoy it, as the spiritual journey is kind of like a road trip. When taking a road trip, you do not focus on getting to your destination as quickly as possible. The focus is on the journey to the destination as well as the destination. And I believe a spiritual journey is the same. You must focus on enjoying each moment of your growth and not focus too much on the end results. My final tip is to not get stuck in theory. It can be easy to get stuck in reading, researching, and trying to accumulate more and more knowledge, but you must not forget that a large portion of your spiritual journey is a practical aspect, whether it be meditating, contemplating, or even just taking your knowledge and applying it in your daily interactions with others. Okay, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by giving me a thumbs up, and then I'll do more videos like this.